All right, it's Gary Kay again. We're here at the AV Technology Open House here at Extron's office in Las Vegas. I'm here with Andrew Evans, Director of Product Marketing. Andrew, you're going to talk about NAV a little bit.
Yep, sure am, Gary. Appreciate you coming out and seeing us here. Today we've got the NAV system set up.
Which is your AV over IP solution.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
This is our enterprise AV over IP solution that we've introduced quite a while back, but just earlier this year we had a pretty major firmware update to it. And one of the things that we're really proud of with this firmware update is our ability to operate on enterprise networks even more reliably than we have in the past.
And basically what that means is there's a choice you make in AV over IP, and that is you can either build your own AV network, or you can put it on the existing company network or corporate network or educational network.
Right, exactly. So a lot of the early days of AV over IP, you were doing an isolated network.
Right.
By default.
Dedicated
there wasn't
AV.
really a choice,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But now as we've gotten farther along, the technology's matured, a lot of people, a lot of customers, end users, they want to leverage their existing networks instead of having to turn up these new network switches.
Right.
And so what NAV allows you to do is to operate on that existing technology backbone. And so we're doing that here and demonstrating the robustness of our video when we're in that kind of converged application with that bursty network traffic.
And let's be honest, nobody puts up test patterns in their office, but that's what you're doing here to explain what's actually going on. And what we have here is the source, you have NAV, and what do you have down here?
So in the top corner here is the original source. We've got some motion video, some motion graphics, some static imagery. Test pattern, it was one of our ones we showed the fine line detail, so you can see the quality of it. Over here we've got the NAV decoded system going across the network. And then down here we've got two different competitors going across that same network uplink.
And I will say that I do know who the competitors are, and I will tell you that they are very popular competitors. All right, so then what you're going to demonstrate, you're going to hit a switch, go ahead and hit the switch, and you're going to demonstrate, because right now they're running point-to-point basically. Now you're going to demonstrate what happens when you put them on the same network as your email, in the same network as your Zoom calls and the Teams calls. This is the way we actually have it connected at UNC. Actually, we have the NAV connected across our regular university network.
Exactly right. Yep. So, like you said, at UNC, you guys did a stress test even, and wanted to see how NAV would perform in that kind of a application where you've got things like file transfers happening, Zoom calls, Teams calls, whatever it might be. And whenever you see that bursty traffic that happens on that converged network, you're going to have some kind of a network error pop up. It might be jitter, it might be latency. There's different ways you can categorize it. But when you have those network errors occur, you're going to see things like some striping that occur, some line errors that occur, and you might even see the image dropping in and out completely.
And the reason why people haven't noticed that currently have the competitive products installed, if you do the research, most of the time they're doing point-to-point and they're not putting it on the corporate network because of this.
That's right, exactly. Okay. When you're on a single switch, isolated network, you don't really have those kind of issues. Right. But it's when you go from switch to switch, when you're going maybe from one side of campus to the other, when you have those uplinks that come into consideration, that's where this really becomes a much stronger proposition and opportunity for NAV AV over IP.
And of course, most people are going to put this in at 1 gig, right? I mean, we're not going to put this across 10 gig anyway. But they, of course, can learn more about NAV at extron.com. And Andrew, thank you very much for doing this. Appreciate it. It's a great demo, and I encourage you to come see it if you're here in the Las Vegas area yourself.